So you want to be a good ranked player, but you don't want to have a shit looking car? Well, you've come to the right place. Today I'm going to show you guys 5 car designs that you can use in competitive, ranked, or just to be a tryhard. These designs are not going to be flashy at all. They're going to be kind of cool, kind of calm, kind of simple. But just to give you a few ideas, if you're really struggling to find a car to use in ranked, then maybe try some of these out. I'm going to be going through 5 car designs that I think are not too distracting but still look really cool, so that you'll be different from all the people that just use dark primaries and that's it. I will be keeping the wheels as Cristiano's. There'll be a few exceptions later, but I'll talk about those when I get into them. And the boosts will be all standard with Alpha Rush. Now if you feel like you only like using one boost and it's not too different, that's fine. And if you want to use different wheels, that's also fine. But I just wanted to clarify, this is for playing ranked. This is not for a car design show off or whatever the fuck you want to do with it. So let's get ahead with number 1. So this is the first car we're gonna have a look at. The first design is the Shisa, I call it, or the dark primary with a white secondary. Now this is literally the pro car that I was talking about with the dark primary. I always use a white secondary on it with like some sort of decal because I don't want to be too boring. If you have the white octane, you can use that too. And yeah, this design is pretty simple, but it's what the pros use, and yeah, that's all I gotta say on it. Let's move forward to number 2. So number 2, I have named this the Plane Fade. Now this is the car that Squishy Muffins uses, and I think Justin and other North American pros have used similar cars to this. It's literally just a pearlescent matte with 2 different colors, and you don't have a decal on it, so that the fade just looks really nice. It's a very solid car. It's not distracting at all. Like if you're driving with this, it actually looks kind of nice. And yeah, it's just a really cool pearlescent matte fade that you can use because it's not distracting. That's what I just said. Hang on, what? Anyway, let's move on to design number 3. Now, I know what you're thinking. I was gonna say that I wasn't gonna be too flashy, and you're looking at this car and saying, wait, Bigsit, this looks kind of flashy, like what are you talking about? This car, the Dragon Lord car with pink and sky blue, I've seen this car used so many times by pro players and high level players that I just wanted to include it, just to show you that you don't have to be too boring with your car designs. You can be kind of creative with it. Now I've used the Dragon Lord here, but you can use other decals, and if it's not too chaotic, it actually looks kind of nice. So like, the Rip comic looks pretty cool with this. Just having 2 colors that kind of contradict each other on a car, that works too. I think I even have a different preset, like this for example, where it's pretty basic, and that's why I called it basic. And yeah, it just uses two different colors on two different sides, and it just looks pretty plain and pretty boring. So yeah, I've used the Dragon Lord here because this is the decal I see a lot being used with this color combination, and I just wanted to include it. Let's move on to number 4. Alright, I know what you're thinking. But Bixit, you've cheated. This isn't the car design, you just put the esports decal on a car, that doesn't count. Well, the esports decals are a really good option if you're just really looking for a tryhard car. I mean, it does make you feel like a pro when you're driving around with Cloud9 or Renault Vitality or whatever you want to purchase, or the G2 esports car. Now, one reason I wanted to include this esports, the esports decals is because you don't have to make them boring. So for example, with the Cloud9 car, you can rock some wheels that maybe fit to the car that aren't the esports decals. I like using Sky Blue Veloce, for example. It just fits really nicely. And for the boost, you can use a Sky Blue... Oh, I have my Alpha console on. Let me just turn that off quickly. Very pro video making here. Like with the Sky Blue boost, or say for example, if you use a Crimson boost and you use some kind of white wheels, you can then put on the white octane and then maybe have like a G2 car with a Crimson boost. So you can get a bit more creative with these. I actually quite like making these very creatively because I feel like it just brings more out of the decal itself and you don't really have to be too boring. So yeah, that's the esports designs. Let's move on to our 5th and final preset. Now our final preset I've just named Dark. This is probably, I think, the second most common RLCS car design that you see in competitive play. It's basically the MG88 or any other animated or mystery decal, and the darkest primaries are used and the secondary is turned to black. So usually you'd see something like this with the MG88, maybe with a white octane or not, like depends who you're watching. I know that KDUP used to use this, and Violent Panda, I think. Or if you have this with, for example, the mainframe, or you can use Heatwave or whatever you feel like. This works best with mystery decals, seeing those mystery decals can have darker colors than, or animated decals can have darker colors than just normal. So yeah, this is the dark preset. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you want to see any more content out of my channel, I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to hear any suggestions in the comments below. So yeah, I'm trying to start this new kind of trend with me doing better videos and maybe spacing them out a bit more instead of just rush uploading everything. So yeah, but I'll probably have an update video out soon about that and what I'm going to be doing with the channel. Anyway, I hope to see you all later. This has been Bixit, and peace.